Hey, Caleb here, the founder of Patriot Training Center.
And Carter,
Not the founder.
not the founder of Patriot Training Center, but I work here.
All right. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about your carry ammo. Okay, the ammo, that self-defense ammo, hollow point ammo, usually more expensive ammo that you put in your gun that you're relying on to take care of yourself, to defend yourself. Pretty important. So there are some care and use tips that we'd like to go over. So one important thing is to rotate that out somewhat semi-regularly. So about every 6 months is probably a good schedule. If you holster your pistol up, you load it, and you don't touch it, you don't unload it, you haven't shot anybody, then that carry ammo is getting exposed to bodily oils. There's the gun oils in the gun. A lot of stuff could go wrong with that.
You have lint, you have heat, it's not a cool, dry place.
Yep.
Right?
Not the ideal conditions to store your valuable ammo in. So it's good practice to go ahead and shoot that at the range every 6 months or so. That'll keep it nice and fresh, and load it back up with your fresh carry ammo.
Another thing you can do, speaking of that, when you are shooting through that, you can verify your zero and things with your carry ammo, making sure everything's all good there, and then you just load a new batch.
So we've had iron sights slightly shift, we've had red dot sights slightly shift, so those things can happen, so just a good practice there. Another thing is, whenever possible, you should refrain from unloading and loading your carry ammo in your gun multiple times. In fact, it's probably best practice if you load a round of carry ammo, like you're unloading your gun to maybe do dry fire or something like that if you're using the exact same gun that you're carrying, maybe once or twice, and then take that cartridge and mark it and put it away somewhere to take it with your next box of range ammo to the range and shoot it. That was kind of my practice when I was carrying and shooting the same gun all the time. With practice, I would go to the range, carry my carry gun, I'd pop out the magazine, put in a fresh one of the range ammo that I was going to shoot that day, and I went ahead and shot that round that was in the chamber of the pistol to make sure that I wasn't rechambering that same round. And the reason for that is because you can get bullet setback. So this is carry pistol here, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the magazine, eject the round out of the chamber, make sure that we're clear there. Okay. And every time that you chamber a round, this is a mechanical process. There's springs under tension, and it's basically ramming this round from the magazine into the chamber, and that puts a lot of force on these bullets. And you can actually get bullet setback, where the bullet will set back into the casing of the ammo. Done plus the breech face is hitting the primer multiple times. So there have been instances of which guns have refused to fire because of this. The primer just gets inactivated, I guess.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is it's kind of a hardened powder that the primer is made out of. And when that breech face keeps hitting the primer, that stuff cracks and it isn't under pressure anymore. So you can get failure to fire. So this won't ignite and create the spark that you need to actually burn the propellant of the gunpowder. So you'll get a failure to fire doing that by that breech face slapping the back of the primer a bunch of times.
Yeah, what we're talking about here is bullet setback. So as that bullet gets pushed back, this is from the factory, right? This is set at a very specific spot of how much the bullet is sticking out of the casing there.
It's called your bullet seating, so how far the bullet is set into the casing.
Yep, and so that's obviously supposed to be a very specific thing, not just for overall length, but the pressure that's built up inside of the casing when the bullet fires can definitely be changed as that bullet. If there's a lot of setback and that bullet is pushed further down into the casing, that would definitely increase the pressure, and you could have an explosion on your hands.
Yeah.
So definitely unsafe there. So just to give you an example, this one had been chambered quite a few times. So I'll just pop off here a few fresh rounds. There. That's the same bullet, and there's definitely a difference here within the bullet seating here. So we're trying to get an angle where you can see this.
As you can see.
So you can see just visually how this one has some bullet seating setback into the casing, and this one's a little bit longer in overall length. And Carter here's got some nice calipers, and he's good at measuring things. So he can show you that there's an actual difference in the measurement here.
Okay, those are zeroed. So we'll do the first one. We'll take the actual overall length of the good one, and we're at 1.123. Okay. Now we'll take the one that has been chambered a bunch of times. That one was 1.123. Let's see what this one is. Okay, so that one's 1.0605. So that's quite a bit. That's a huge difference, actually. So, yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, so this is dangerous to continue rechambering the same round. And so the best bet is to fire. Well, you could throw this one away. That's a pretty big difference. But if you go ahead and you fire that round that's been chambered every time
or twice.
Yeah, every time you go to the range, if you chamber it more than once or twice. So it's always better to not unload and reload your carry ammo magazines.
So ideally, if you have a training gun and a carry gun that are set up the same, that is the best outcome you can have, because you'll be able to dry fire a bunch, and you're going to have to unchamber a lot. If you're really putting in the work in dry fire, you're going to have to unchamber and rechamber a lot. So if you have a gun set up for that, that does make it easier. If not, you're going to have to take that round out of the chamber that you're carrying in your carry gun a whole bunch, and then that sets you up to just burn through ammo a ton by having this bullet set back. So if you can have a training gun and a carry gun that way, that's the best. But yeah, just make sure that you're not letting those bullets set back too much, and keep it safe. And the other thing is, you want these to work every time, especially if you're carrying ammo. If you're shooting it under stress, you're going to definitely not want to have to worry about your bullet setback, not failure to fires and stuff. So really important to keep those in good working condition.
Yep. And this also goes for rifle ammo. So we have two rounds of 223 regular AR-15 ammo here. And even more importantly, you can tell when you chamber a round of your AR-15 ammo. You can see the primer there. So with this rifle ammo, you can actually tell whenever an AR-15 round is chambered, the firing pin actually touches the primer even before you shoot it. So both of these are unfired, but one has not been chambered, and the one that has been chambered, you can see that there's a little kiss there from the firing pin right on the primer. Carter probably knows more about that than me.
The reason that happens is just because that firing pin isn't under any spring tension. It's kind of free floating. So the way it works is the hammer hits the firing pin, and it ignites the primer. But in an AR bolt, there's no spring tension on that firing pin, so it doesn't keep it away from that primer.
And you can have the exact same bullet setback issues with your rifle ammo. So same goes true for rifle. Probably more important. I wouldn't chamber the same one more than twice if I was going to be using that for defensive purposes.
Yep.
So that's just a quick tip to rotate through your carry ammo. Definitely inspect it, and definitely don't be chambering the same round more than a couple times. Better just to shoot it and replace it. And yeah, if you can set up a separate dry fire gun, that's kind of the best way to deal with all this. But that's just a quick tip to keep you safe. So if you want to learn more tips like this and you want to come out and get some training, come see us at Patriot Training Center.